Hello, world. Okay, this is the first time we're doing this, so it's a YouTube live. I'm going to start this kind of open conversation around how I use Owaves personally. So I have my own health, wellness, and productivity goals, as you can imagine. Running Owaves and family with two little kids, and parents that one of which needs some caregiving, and you know the rest of life, and sort of how I juggle what I need to juggle on a daily basis. So if you don't mind, this is going to be a very kind of rough start because it's as I said, first time doing this on YouTube. I did do a little practice on Twitch, and a little bit on TikTok, but I think YouTube feels like the right environment for this. So I'm still working my way around the dashboard here. But what I really like to do is share with you my Owaves interface, and I can kind of think through, again, how I use the app to plan my days. So here we are. It's beginning of my workday on July 10th, Thursday, sunny San Diego. I think we have a heat advisory for this weekend coming up. So it's nice and hot already. And let's see. So now how am I going to share my OWave screen is the next little mini challenge here. I think if I pop out my dashboard, oh, there's a sharing function here. So that's good. I don't want to put TMI out to the public for obvious reasons. So let me think about the best way to do this. I will get my iPad. 1 second. Let me grab it. Okay, so I got my iPad here, and I'm going to hook it in to my laptop. And let's do this. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I've been meaning to start this, but there's always excuses to delay. And I'm not sure exactly what the inspiration was for going ahead. My wife helped take the kids to school, so that freed up some time. And the thing is, I do plan my day using Owaves pretty much on a regular basis, and it's always been sort of this obvious move to go ahead and share what I'm doing. There's been reasons why I was kind of tentative to, again, as you can imagine, share too much of what, my personal life to the public. But I think, it just feels right for this moment in time. So we're gonna start. So what I'm doing now is I'm plugging my iPad, which is my favorite device to plan and think about my upcoming 24 hours. And I'll just kind of walk you through what I usually do here. So let me get QuickTime to share. Just setting it up. Allow. Okay. And let's see. Now I need to use this pop-out function. Pop-out dashboard. Okay. Doesn't really help here for the moment. Let me put this over here and expand this. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how best to share my iPad without oversharing here. So, okay, window, this is what I need to do. All right, so it looks like mission accomplished here. You can see my iPad, and you can still see me, which is great. Okay, so this is a pre-filled template, and it's based off my chronotype. So for those of you not familiar with Owaves, let me do a little bit of starters here. I won't go too in depth just on this, I guess, episode alone, because then it'll turn into a really long episode. This is mostly meant to kick things off, and I want to keep these short, maybe 10 or 12 minutes maximum. That way it's easy for me to continuously do it. And the idea is that we'll go deeper into the whys and explanations behind Owaves as we go along. So you won't get the full download today, but this will be kind of a continuous series, and I'll basically get to teach you as you kind of see what I do for myself. So let me explain how I got this template. I think that's a good place to start. So if you go into Owaves, you can actually chronotype yourself, right? And so the whole idea is to learn about your personal body clock so that you can start planning your days accordingly, right? According to circadian science. And this is a reduced morningness, eveningness questionnaire. It's based off a gold standard morningness, eveningness questionnaire. I'm going to go ahead and take this 5-question quiz. If I was free to choose, when would I get up? Probably during sunrise. When do I feel tired enough to sleep? Before midnight. When do I feel most energetic? Morning. How do I feel after waking up? Kind of neutral. And then I definitely feel more inclined for morning. So I'm a sunflower chronotype, okay? And based off this sunflower chronotype, we actually provide day plans. So if you go into the day plan section, you can see I have the sunflower energy. We give that to you, as part of like the onboarding to kind of help think about your day plan. And so that's what you're seeing here. I basically just loaded that sunflower day plan into my schedule for today, right? And you can repeat it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever makes sense. And we do approach these routines on a seasonal basis because not only do we have circadian rhythms, which are approximately 24 hours, you may be aware, we also have circannual rhythms, which are approximately 365 days. So thinking about your days and your goals and your routines accordingly, we think is extremely important. And again, we can go into a lot deeper conversations around why it's important and the health benefits as time goes on. But basically, I did want to go ahead and plan my day for today with you all. So I'm going to start by clearing this preset routine, starting from scratch and thinking through essentially how I'd plan my day. So obviously, I slept this morning. So I woke up maybe around 5. And then I kind of gradually get out of bed. Usually I'm thinking about my day and sort of how I'm going to approach most of my major goals and assignments. And then the mornings are really about getting the kids ready for school. Usually I do take them to school, as I mentioned, which would last me through 9 a.m. But this morning my wife was able to take them. She's a busy medical resident, so her schedules are usually pretty strict and unforgiving. But today we had some breathing room, and so she was able to help out. And so what did I do? Well, I took advantage of the time to drink some coffee, and now I would consider this work. So I'm approaching the day, thinking about my plan and kind of big picture stuff, but let's celebrate the YouTube with maybe 30-minute allocation here. And then I have a lot of business plan kind of follow throughs. So I'll probably be focused on that. And that's kind of the big picture icon I like to use here. So today I do have some meetings. Okay, so I have a meeting occurring at noon. That's going to be this one. And so noon shows up at the traditional 3 o'clock position. So we have a 24-hour clock in case you didn't notice. And we intentionally position sunrise on top to kind of think about that as the beginning of day. And so I mentioned I also have a gym appointment at 2 p.m. Okay, so you might notice if I go back to the O-star view, these kind of yellow, orange, blue, and green, we call them windows or shades. These are meant to encourage you to think about deep sleep, which is the light blue, deep work, peak fitness, and eating window recommendations based on your chronotype. So you might remember I'm a sunflower. This would change if I put in a different chronotype. You can see here, let's say I was moonflower, you'll see a dramatic change. And see there, all the recommendations shift. But I'm definitely not a moonflower, so let me go back to sunflower here. You can also adjust the eating window. So, if you need to have a shorter or longer, or if you elect to, eating window, or adjust the start time, you can do that here. And then again, we can talk about some of the benefits around what is being called time restricted eating. There's a lot of metabolic benefits, even some mood ones. Okay, so now coming back to the actual planning process, you can see, so my exercise did land on my peak fitness, which is great. And my deep work is happening around my recommended deep work interval. And so this business plan work that I do after this streaming session will probably go up until my next meeting. I'll want to break there, and I'll probably get some protein shake, and I might do that after this actually and grab that because it's already ready made. I began it when I prep for my daughters. Okay, so after my meeting, let's see, I actually have back-to-back meetings, so then I'll have another one at 1, and so this will take me right up until my my gym appointment, and then I'll have to drive to the gym. And so that's what that looks like. Now, since I know I'll have to be at my training appointment at 2 p.m., I might have to get my gear on before that. And so this first call is actually only a half hour. So I might remind myself to get dressed for the gym here. And then that way, by the time 1:45 rolls around, I'm not unprepared to jump in the car and get to the gym. Okay, so after gym, I do like to eat. It's probably a wise thing to do. Obviously, is to kind of refill on protein and calories. I use an avocado. It's kind of like my nudge to eat healthy in terms of food selection. And so that'll be a half hour. I'll probably eat at home, which means I'll take my shower first. So let me get that in here. As such, and then immediately post that back to work. And going to the gym midday does help me kind of cleanse and sort of reboot for a second round of work. I'll want to wrap that up by 6 p.m. because that's when I want to spend time with my daughters. They'll be home by then. And today I'd like to really focus on some of the product work we're doing. So I like to use this kind of dev icon for that. But again, done by 6, and then family dinner. Again, I like to use veggies, healthy cues for. It's not like I'll only be eating greens during that time, but seeing the dark greens helps remind me to at least put some on my plate and hopefully prioritize healthier food choices. And then it's really just downtime with the family. We always have reading time right before bed with the girls, and then ideally asleep by 9, which means that I would be in bed in time for deep sleep, right? Which is what you saw here through my O-Star recommendations. Okay, now I have my 24-hour day. This is my default center O photo you saw from my save day plans. You can see here is kind of the default one I have in the middle. But it's nice to personalize it on a daily basis. So let me get out of there. Okay, and then let me go ahead. This is a nice one of the fam. I'll go ahead and choose that. Excuse the food in Simone's mouth. Okay, and so then there's my day for today. You can share it when you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And there you go. So that's my day for today. And I'll be doing this more often. Please leave any questions. What we didn't see is the track component. So I track usually my sleep with an Oura ring, sometimes through the phone. And so I'll show you how that layers on. Basically, what you're seeing here is kind of a classic side-by-side visualization. So you can see that I woke up past my planned time here, closer to 7 a.m. And actually took a nap that day. And it shows my actual eating first bite, last bite, and physical activity intervals. So this Apple Health integration gives you a nice side-by-side visual of what you plan to do and what you actually did. So there's some better examples in here, but we'll go through more of that later. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. We'll do more of these, and please leave feedback in the comments.